Oh yeah, did you hear about that? Like Hans Georg Maassen, the former head of the Federal Office for Protection of the Constitution, he has been exposed. I told you about it. He's definitely a right-wing extremist suspect, not just suspect, he's a Nazi. We all know about that, you know what I mean? So shockingly, he was the German Secret Service boss for 8 years. It's absolutely insane. His actions had devastating consequences for a lot of people living in Germany, not only in Germany as well in Europe. And it's just mind-blowing that he has formed so many connections with the far right, AfD, the CDU. And it's time that people confront the reality of the far right influence in Germany, because Germans are always living in denial. So we have to defend democracy at all costs. I know you're not going to believe it. Former German secret agency chef has been exposed for supporting and being part of the far-right extremist groups in Germany. The shocking thing is that he was the boss of the German secret agency for 8 years. He has employed a lot of secret agents in Germany. Just let that sink in, how many far-right extremists are already working now inside the German government. I know that because I was targeted by them. When I lived in Germany for 5 years, I faced a lot of discrimination against these individuals. I was targeted by them, obviously. There was an incident that I was targeted by a sonic weapon, which I tried to report, but it got nowhere. Then there were more incidents, one of which they were stealing my letters, my parcels and everything. And when I received the letters, they had some sort of compound inside the letters that was giving me some sort of allergic reaction. There were 17 incidents that the police stopped me on the streets for no reasons. If I was just walking around, exercising, land skating, sightseeing, they would stop me, follow me in supermarkets to see what I was buying. It was an absolute nightmare. And then there were a couple of attempts of assassination as well, one of which they gave me a vaccine that paralyzed me for 6 months. Then I went to the dentist just to replace a filling on my tooth, but then she completely destroyed with my tooth, which left me untreated as well, which was absolutely shocking. Then no matter what I tried to do to find justice for my cases, I was never treated fairly and I was pretty much treated as a second-class citizen, even though I had rights to fight for my rights. Now, everything what I reported is valid and true. It's factual. And now we know, and I knew from the very beginning, that these individuals are leading in Germany. They have infected all levels of society in Germany, and it's going to be very, very difficult to get rid of them. Right now, they've been gaining a lot of power in Germany and East Europe as well, and Ukraine as well. And what is really shocking is they formed alliances with Zionists and the Nazis, and they are trying to kind of gain momentum and power through that kind of connection, which is really mind-blowing, really difficult to digest, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I literally don't understand their levels of intelligence, essentially. I question their IQ a lot. How can a Zionist form alliances with a Nazi? And so the same thing is happening in Ukraine, you can see that as well. But what is really shocking me is that I have highly suspicious that the British government has formed alliances with Germany. And also we all know they already formed alliances with the Zionists, right? So this is the situation. Hans Georg Maassen was the chef of the secret agency in Germany. He has established a massive network. Now, two parties that you should be concerned about in Germany, the AfD and the CDU. So the CDU was his actual political party, and then AfD is a party that he has also infiltrated in trying to establish that connection with the CDU party, and he has created his own political party as well. I suspect that the situation is way worse than even the British government knows about, or is pretending that they don't know about it. To be honest, I don't even understand how, very high levels of intelligence that we've got in this country that we're not able to detect that. So dealing with Germany and the fight right is is extremely dangerous agenda that will have drastically consequences for for our country. So it's really shocking to see that Rishi Sunak and the Conservative Party are both willing to have alliances with the Nazis and Zionists. But after all, I wasn't crazy at all when I reported everything. In fact, there were a lot of British and American nationals that were facing the sonic attack that I faced as well. I'm not sure why they target me. I mean, I know why, but like, I don't work for the secret agency, right? So I thought that could not be happening, right? What is the motive? But of course, I was trying to fight against a lot of injustices, and they just treat me like I was a spy, essentially. Let's put it that way. Because of course, I uncover a lot of issues that were happening in Germany, and they just wanted to assassinate me and silence me, essentially. But there you have it. If you detect any sort of British connection with the far-right extremists from Germany and Ukraine as well, just create content about that, because it's really important that we raise awareness about the situation, because it's extremely serious. Not a long time ago, our ancestors, even my ancestors as well, were fighting against the Nazis in Europe. So it's really important that we never allow that to happen ever again, and we have got to take actions really early on before it's too late, because these people are really trying really hard to establish a very hateful agenda, which is very toxic. And not just that, investors don't really like this kind of narrative and agenda. So the UK has faced a lot of lack of investment right now because it's being associated with the far-right extremists, and then nobody's going to invest. You can see that Rishi Sunak is an investment banker, but an investment banker who can't find investment to the country. It doesn't sound right, doesn't it? I mean, so this is another reason for concern. This kind of government can't grow the economy. They can't find investors. They can't do anything to provide us what we need and deserve. And then going on and forming alliances with the far-right is something that we should never allow to happen in this country. However, when you see someone talking about senior government officials being part of the far-right movement, being Nazis or Zionists, pay attention to her. I've been trying to warn you for a very long time in Germany, and in fact I reported everything because I knew that something wrong was happening, and so the only way I can find justice was to report everything and just to spread the message out there. And then it's going to be recorded pretty much forever, right? Because I'm making sure that my data is safe and is already online everywhere. But this goes to show that if you've been a victim of discrimination in Germany or even in any other country, create content about it, share the message and spread out your information and data, because then you can help people out. This is my mission in life, to use my life, every single discrimination that I face, report them so I can help other people so they never have to face those issues in their lives ever again. If you found this content informative, if you also believe that the far right is on the rise in Europe, then drop me a follow.